Oh, perfect. There we go. Hunter, so you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, maybe, things that, people don't know about you and stuff like that.
Yeah, for kind of quick run through of my life, I run track. That's what I do. That's kind of how my whole life is built around. How I do it is a little bit different than a lot of other people, and it's what makes my story so special. When I was born, I had a congenital bone deficiency, which pretty much means my legs were messed up. I had one chance to come out right. I just totally messed it up. So my legs were deformed, and the doctors told my parents, they said, "I'm sorry, but your son's never going to be able to walk." That's the first thing I heard when I was born. Before I took my first steps, before I said my first words, I was told I'd never be able to walk. My parents really don't like hearing no for an answer, so they went to a bunch of different specialists and hospitals and did whatever they had to do to figure out an answer to this problem. Finally, they found some people at Children's Hospitals for Children who said that we had two options, basically. We could leave me how I am, and I'd be in and out of surgeries throughout my whole childhood. There's no, guarantee I'd be walking. I'd probably be in a wheelchair. Or we could amputate my legs, just, get rid of them totally. And that's what my parents decided to do. So when I was a year old, I was only 11 months, had both my legs amputated, got my first pair of prosthetics when I was 15 months old, started walking, started running, started playing sports soon after that. And when I was younger, the problem was I wasn't very athletic. I wasn't very good at the sports. And I went through a lot of bullying because I was very different. I started going to school publicly in 5th grade. And I heard some of the most horrible things ever, You're never going to be loved. You're not good enough. You're never going to be successful. You don't have a future. And I started listening to all these things that people were saying about me. And as a 13-year-old boy, I ended up in a place of no hope. And I was in a place where I was ready to end my life. I felt like I had heard so many times about what I wasn't going to be able to do that I'd given up. And I believed these things. I said, "You're right. I'm not going to have a future." And then as I sat there and I was ready to, kind of end my life and be done with everything, I thought about, what am I thankful for? What do I have in this life that's worth living for? Because if I'm going out right now, you better be sure that I know what I'm leaving behind. And I said, I have my family. My family loves me. They know exactly what's going on. They know the situation, and they do not care. I said, I have a roof over my head, and not everybody has a roof like that. Not everybody has a place to live. And I have food on my plate. Not everybody gets that opportunity. I said, I'm as bad as it is, as much as I let these negative things in my life overrun it, I have so many amazing things I should be thankful for. And I moved on from then with a better attitude about life, not worrying about the things I don't have. I was no longer worried about the fact that I don't have my legs, but I was thankful that I had my hands. I was thankful that there's technology that was, there to help me able to walk, help me be able to run and do all these things. And 7th grade came around just after that, and I had a different perspective, like I said. I had respect for myself, I had love for myself, and I knew what I was worth. And going into 7th grade, I met two people that really changed my life. And they just treated me like a normal kid, They didn't see a kid without legs. They just saw a friend of theirs. They saw somebody they could relate to and enjoy and have a good time with. And as I gained this connection with these two and started to realize, this thought process that when I love myself, other people are going to love me. And when I respect myself, other people are going to respect me. And as I started realizing this, I gained more confidence. And as that came around, there's a bigger group of friends around me. And people that actually cared about me and wanted me to become successful as much as I wanted them to become successful. And these people weren't a group of friends that, liked me for somebody I was pretending to be. Because earlier in my life, I kind of put on a mask just so I could act like somebody else. And these guys really helped me to realize that I'm special, just who I am. And to be myself and embrace my differences. And after that, I felt more comfortable with myself. And I joined the track team. When I first joined, I was the worst kid on the team.
How old?
But I was 7th grade, so I was 14. And I was absolute trash. But I was excited about it. I found somewhere I fit in. And I remember a specific race. It was the North End Championship, so it's pretty much a semifinal in junior high track field. And if I ran this race well enough, I got to go to the championships. I got my first taste of success on an individual level. And I remember running this race and coming around the last corner and looking up and just seeing everybody in front of me, beating me. I said, man, they look pretty good, but I'm not supposed to be back. I'm supposed to be winning this race right now. And I finished the race, and what happened next is that everybody in the crowd, and the parents, and everybody was, they were clapping for me, and they were excited about me being there, and they were happy enough for me to show up. And I realized that people, again, didn't see me as a normal person. They saw me as a kid with no legs. And as it was before, where I got beaten down because people would say horrible things about me, now I was getting beaten down because I knew people didn't see me as a person.
Yeah.
Nobody said, yeah, go for it. What are you saying?
So how did you react then after, being, this next level? You were, continue your story, I guess, because
yeah,
you're going to say it, so.
Yeah, that's exactly, you're right. Like, at that point when I had that helplessness, I said, man, this is horrible. These people aren't seeing me right. My next decision was, I'm going to be the best at something. The only thought I had that would change how people saw me is to become the best. Because my mindset was, when somebody's that good at something, when somebody's that talented, nobody cares what their physical state is. Nobody cares what they look like. Because it's not about that. I said, I'm going to be the best at something. And I narrowed it down to track. I said, track's where I'm going to stay. It's going to happen with track. And every single day I would work. When my friends would go play, my friends would go hang out, I'd go to the track and I'd put in work. I'd go to the weight room, I'd put in work. When my friends would go, to the McDonald's or whatever and get fast food, I said, no, I can't. I'd go home, I'd get that healthy food and I'd put in work. And everything I did was, towards that goal. And that's how in 3 years I went from not making a district championship to being one of the most competitive runners in the world and the fastest high schooler in Utah to ever run no legs or legs, either way.
So you're the fastest. You're the fastest person in Utah right now ever to be in high school.
Ever to run in Utah.
That's amazing.
One, yeah. And I mean, I can't remember the amount of times that I've been on the side of the track, passed out or puking or just wanting to quit. I say 3 years, but it was 3 years of just absolute work every single day, in and out, making it happen.
So it usually doesn't take someone. Usually, what I've realized over the research is that an athlete trains for his whole life or her whole life to get to the one, to get to the top. So it took you a shorter span of time. You really accelerated really quickly, which is incredible. What can you tell me about what was pushing you so hard every day to get on there and just beat everyone, be the best out of every single person, because, I find it amazing that, you were that good between those 3 years and, especially after that bullying stage, how did you overcome everything? How did you push yourself to the next level?
There's a few factors. First and foremost, it's the support group. It's the people I had around me that were pushing me every step of the way. And when things got hard, they were the ones that say, listen, it's going to be okay. You're stronger than this. You've done harder things than this. And they were the ones to help me push through those hard times and get to the heights that I got to. The next thing was just work. I had a goal and I knew what I wanted to do. And it makes it a lot easier when you have that goal and you have a clear, path what you want to do. And I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And the next thing, like I said, was work. It took a lot of work. And I had to give 100% in everything I did. If you want to become successful, it's about giving it your all. And it doesn't matter what it is. It's not just about athletics. Anything you do, if you're not giving 100%, you can't expect to succeed, in that fashion.
So, what makes you feel most confident and why?
In the track and field world, wins make you feel confident. When you're running fast and you're doing well, you're going to get confident on the track. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm missing my legs. I have insecurities about, having no legs and the person I am. Everyone has insecurities and things, they feel self-conscious about themselves. And what makes me so confident is I know that there's people around me that love me. Regardless of my physical attributes, regardless of what I look like, who I am, they love me for me, And that makes me confident to know that I don't have to act like somebody else. I don't have to put on a face or a mask because these people love me for who I am. And that makes me confident every single day to do what I do and not worry about, the little things.
So how did, let's forward a little bit to, Rio. How did your confidence change with your Olympic status? So, you went there and you now are top of the world. You especially, let's congratulate you now. You won a gold medal, right?
Well, I had a gold medal, and then we got DQ'd and lost it, but after that, I won a silver and a bronze. So
you
redeemed myself.
So you technically won 3 medals.
3 of them, lost 1 of them. So 2 medals, yeah, in the Paralympic Games.
So first off, you brought up a new topic. How did it feel to get scraped from your medal?
It hurt. That was the first race. It was the first chance for me to get a medal, on the highest stage. Paralympic Games is huge. And I remember running this race, been training for this whole time. I've been in the deepest, darkest parts of my life. I fought back. I worked every single day to get to this point, and I lost it all like that.
And
so this is hard. Like, I don't know if I want to deal with this, right? And again, it goes back to that support group. They were the first ones when I got out of the race. They said, it's going to be all right. You have 2 more races.
Can you tell us who your support group is? Who's your most, who's supporting you and pushing you through this whole lifetime?
Yeah, absolutely. My team. So my team consists of my coach. He's amazing. Joachim Cruz. He does work. We put in work together. And then my teammates, not only just the guys on the relay that had been veterans that had done it before and gave me advice, but just the other people in Rio that were there. My family was there, which is my biggest supporters. They helped me through every hard time, and they were there to say, it's okay, like, you have 2 more chances, you're good. We know the work you've put in, right? And the other thing is I remember getting back in my tent, and I remember picking up my phone, and I had just texts from my buds saying, it's all right, man, like, keep grinding, you're good, because they were watching on the TV. And that's the kind of thing. I mean, it doesn't matter what happens, whether I fail or succeed, whatever, I know these people are going to be here for me. And going into the next race, that changed my mindset. Like, whatever happens, regardless, I know that there's people backing me up, that love me for me, and that was the biggest thing.
That's truly amazing. So you at least there was some faith there, and you ended up getting 2 other medals. So
yeah.
But you know what I find crazy is everyone's talented when they get to the Olympics. You guys have a certain work ethic that no one has. You guys have a work ethic that you access a part of your brain that the average people don't have access to, and that's the focus. And the organization you guys have, and the work ethic, all together, the sacrifices you guys have to make. What did you what did you miss out most on when you had to make all these sacrifices? That you had to do to become to the top,
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of little things you miss out on. When you want to get to that highest level and you want to become successful, you have to give up things you want now for something you want more later. Like I said earlier, I wanted to go hang out with my friends, but instead I'd go put work in. I wanted to, eat those bad foods. It was tempting. It tastes so good, but I had to get them up to get to that point. Exactly. And even like during the summers, I left my whole entire summer break. I left all my friends and moved to California with my coach and, trained 6 hours a day to get to that level. And it's these things like, I want to hang out with my friends and I want to enjoy those little things, but I want to be the best more. That's been my goal since the beginning, and it trumps everything. So when push comes to shove, you're going to, make those sacrifices and do what you have to do to reach your goals.
So what's your next goal?
I'm still on the same goal at the end of the day. I mean, I have a silver and a bronze medal, which doesn't make me the best. It makes me the second and third best. So I want to be the fastest man in the world, regardless of having legs or not. I don't care about that. I want to keep working and training. That's long term. I mean, by the end of my career, I want to be able to say that I've done that. Right now, the big picture is college, running college. There's never been a double amputee to run at a Division I college, a big one. And that's something I'm looking into right now, and I'm going through the recruiting process, and that's huge for me. As somebody who was told they would never be able to walk, now being one of the fastest kids in the nation and being recruited, at that level is such a huge amount of pride for me and my family and all my supporters that have been there the whole time. And right now, that's the goal, is get to that next stage and keep moving on in my track career.
So, aside from track, what are some other hobbies, that you do or, that keeps you busy and you enjoy doing, that makes you happy and gets rid of those insecurities that, you talked about earlier?
Yeah, a few of the things, I love just being with the people, that are in my life, my friends and my family. I love hanging out with them and sharing our experiences. Another thing I love to do is, photography and taking videos and kind of documenting what I do. And that's for a few reasons. Like you said, getting rid of the insecurities. Like, I put myself out there, and it makes me feel more comfortable with myself, and I let people see the things I'm insecure about. I'm insecure about my legs at times, and that's what I put out there most. I let people see and realize that I'm a person, regardless if I'm missing my legs or not. I'm just a normal person. And I like to share that experience with people. I know when I was younger, I didn't have somebody to look up to. I didn't know somebody that was going through this situation, and I didn't know that it was going to be okay. So now my goal is kind of like, I want to let somebody know that it's going to be all right. Whatever they're going through, however bad it may seem, it's going to get better. And there's a plan in place. You need to keep working. You need to stay, encouraged and motivated, and realize that you're going to do amazing things. And it takes the right people around you, and it takes a lot of hard work, but things will get better. So, and I think that's my message.
So that's a great message. So two things, who you said you didn't have a mentor when you're younger, so who's your mentor now that you consider someone that you look up to, or you follow, some things that they do?
There's a few. I mean, in life, I feel like there's so many different places you can gain knowledge from. But my biggest motivator and the person I look up to most is my coach. I mean, he was born in a situation where he wasn't, he's a poor boy from Brazil, and he was kind of in the same situation where he wasn't born for, greatness. Nobody just handed it to him on a silver platter. He had to work, and he had to work very hard to get where he got and to find the success that he had. And it motivates me to know that, not every successful person, not every person on TV, not every famous person just was handed this, success. They had to work. And it motivates me to know that I wasn't given the best situation either. But with work, it's possible. And I look up to him, and he shares his experiences with me, not just on the track, but off the track. Keeping myself humble and realizing that this gift that I was given is not something to waste. And I have to put in the work and make sure, we use it to its full ability, its full potential.
Well, you have plenty of competitions. You're young, right? So you have a ton ahead of you. So, this is more down the road. Well, what's the plan after all these competitions of track? Are you going to remain into track and teach people, or you're going to go into something completely different?
I think I'm going to stay around track and field. And if not, maybe motivational speaking, kind of sharing my story.
Yeah,
that's what I love to do. I feel like God has given me this amazing gift, and He's given me the ability to inspire others because of my story, and I've been through a lot. And then, like I said earlier, if I can share that with somebody, and if I can inspire somebody to live their life to the fullest potential, that is all I want to do in my life. I just want to help somebody else, and I think that's more important than any amount of money or any gold medal or anything like that. Is changing somebody's life, inspiring somebody to do something amazing.
That's very strong words. Bless you. If you, hypothetically, if you had the option to do any other competition, like a game in the competition, which one would you do? Like
another event?
Yeah.
Oh man, are we talking specifically track and field or any Olympic?
Any Olympic event, any single one. What do you like to watch and want to do always?
So there's this event called I think it's river kayaking. And these people are crazy. They do all this crazy kayaking.
They're insane shape.
It's insane. It's ridiculous. And I think that would just be so fun to try something like that. I think I'd get destroyed, but I think it'd be fun. But there's so many talents. In the Olympics and Paralympic Games, it's you walk around and you see the things that people do, and you're like, wow, how are you doing that?
Well, that's what I look at every day. When I look at you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
When I look at you guys, I say to myself, I don't understand how these guys can do what they do, or these girls. Yeah. These guys, you guys are so. It's not even strong. I'm talking about. It's mentally. You have something that, again, like I told you, people don't have, and you should be blessed that you have that.
Absolutely.
You have a mental capacity that people wish for. So
yes,
well, you could apply it to anything, I'm sure, and you're gonna do well in anything you do. So as Chase and Hunter is, we're obviously an advice company, from male mentors and mentors like yourself, giving advice about, success stories and stuff that can give confidence to other people. But, we do have our dating aspect too, which is, all the girls around the United States giving some advice, college girls. What's something that, if you were to give a piece of advice about dating, you'd want to do, or, when you talk to a girl, what's something that works for you in those manners,
The biggest thing that I could say is be yourself, especially in dating and with girls. If you're pretending to be somebody else, it's not going to last forever. If a girl likes you for who you are, that's a keeper. That's what you want. So every time, I approach a girl or I talk to a girl, besides being respectful and being a gentleman and those kind of things, it's about being yourself, right? Because you want them to love you for who you are. And I don't try to keep anything inside. I'm very open about my personality and who I am. Because as much as I want everyone to be real with me, I expect that people want me to be real with them. And I know when I talk to a girl, I want her to show me the real her too, and not try to kind of act like somebody they're not to impress me or anything like that. If somebody's gonna love you for who you are, that's all that matters.
Have you used the Olympic card yet on a date or something?
I don't usually bring it up. I try not to bring it up, but I don't bring it up. Somebody else usually does though. And I mean that's cool. It's part of life.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Come on, it's amazing. We talk about that with the NFL guys and all the NHL, and they always say they don't want to bring it up, but someone eventually brings it up, and it's fun.
It comes up somehow, and it's one of those things where you don't want to be egotistical and just throw it out there, but it's something you're very proud of. I mean, any professional athlete or any athlete who's gotten to that level, they've worked very hard to get to that point. So to get the recognition for doing that, it's a big deal, it's a lot of pride. I mean, it wasn't easy to get to that point. When somebody recognizes and says, I realize what you had to do to get to there, it's a very special moment. It's cool to share that with them.
Well, we reached out to you because, we were literally amazed. We thought, you first of all, any Olympian, any type of person, athlete at your level has something that less than 1% of the world has, right? So, we're honored to be speaking to you, So before we leave off with the interview, what is something that you can say to our audience, telling them, whether it's something to do with confidence or, motivation, what's one general piece of advice that you live by and that you want to pass on to these guys?
The biggest piece of advice that I can share through my experiences is that you can do whatever you want. You don't have to listen to, the negative things that other people say about you, because it's just a reflection of their self-confidence. Find a goal, find something you love to do, and get it done. Reach that goal, because you can do such amazing things if you have the right people around you and you put in the work. And just, it's about what you love, I talk about success a lot, and what does success mean? And in my eyes, success is finding something you love to do. And once you do that, life is good, right?
Yeah.
So that's why, find something you love to do and do it. Don't listen to what the other people say. The derogatory thing. It's not about that.
So you did listen at one point though to it, and it brought you down, but you climbed back up when you were younger.
Absolutely.
And you'll never fall down again like that. You let yourself fall down like that again.
Exactly, because I've seen what it does to a person, and I've seen both sides of the coins. I've seen what it does when you listen to those things, you let them tear you down. It puts you in a horrible place where you don't want to be here anymore. And I've also seen the other side where you have the courage to fight back and believe in yourself and know your self-worth. And I've seen what success that can bring. And, I'm just a testament to that if you believe in yourself and you put in the work, you can do amazing things. I don't like to keep reiterating the fact that I was told that I would never walk. But that's the truth. Doctors thought I'd never be able to walk. I'm now one of the fastest people in the world. If I can do that, what does that mean for you, People can do amazing things. I don't, brag about my accomplishments to tell people how good I am, but to open their eyes about what is possible.
It's amazing, man. Okay, let me take it off record for a second. Give me a second.
For sure.